What do we want to do whilst we're here on the earth? Do we just want to pass through? Or do we want to say, Lord, you have a destiny for me. You have a calling for me. Do you want to fulfill that calling? Do you want to experience what God has put you here for?
And to be a disciple is to be a follower of Jesus, but more than a follower, somebody who wants to surrender his or her will fully and utterly to God. As John the Baptist said, I must decrease, but he must increase.
Will I live for myself, or will I live for the will of God? That was the challenge that I received around 10 years ago when I was 16, 17. I was a Christian. I went to church, I read my Bible, I prayed. Outwardly my life was okay, and God gave me the challenge. Either you can be a Christian who believes all of these things and goes to church, prays, reads the Bible, tries to live a good life, and yet ignore the destiny and call that God has, or you can become a disciple. And a disciple is somebody who is surrendered to the call of God and who is surrendered to the purpose that God has for their life.
Do we want to go through all the religious trappings and all the religious rituals but not have any purpose in our life? Or do we want to become a disciple?
You can believe everything and yet still have nothing unless you add action to your faith. Can you trust God with your life to do more with it than you can by your own self?
When Jesus was upon the earth, he had multitudes of followers. He fed the 5,000. There was the 120. There was the 70 disciples. There was the 12 disciples. And there was the inner circle of the 3 disciples. The question is, how close do you want to get to Jesus? How real do you want your relationship to be with him?
I was listening to this tape by Duncan Campbell, and he said, are you real with God? You go to church, you pray, you read the Bible, but are you really real with God? And I just repented right then. And that day the Holy Spirit came and met with me. And that day was the defining moment of my life. And I became a disciple of the Lord. From then on I decided I was going to live for the will of God. And when you decide to live for God's will, it will come at a price.
In all God's promises, there are conditions. The question is, do you want to fulfill those conditions?
Will you surrender your life to the call of God? And whatever you may be doing, you're saying, Lord, I want to be in the very centre of your will.
We must do that which he has called us to do. He may not call you to the mission field, and he may not call you to be a pastor, but what God has called you to do, you must be faithful.
In Hebrews 12 it says, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith.